the function of the organ dramatically goes down. So that's what George Chapman found out in the 1930s. He didn't know what he was doing, and that's what. So here in applied kinesiology, Dr. George Gohard, he took that idea and applied it to applied kinesiology. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check. Here's what we're going to do simply. We're going to get people to stand up. We're going to put your hand on the lymphatic reflex for the liver. It's funny, the liver's over here. But George Chapman found out that the liver reflex is the fifth intercostal space on the right side only. So what you're going to do, if it's an active reflex, all you're going to do is simply touch this on the right side. Doesn't matter. And if it needs to be treated, your arm will actually go weak while you're touching it. And as soon as you let go, your arm will regain strength. And same thing with the adrenal. You have two adrenal reflexes. They sit on top of the kidneys. And the reflexes, according to the chart and according to George Chapman, you go 2 inches up and 1 to each side. You have 2 reflexes here. So again, we're going to pair up in a few minutes. We're going to touch one reflex here. If it goes weak, you have to rub these out vigorously. Same thing here. So all 3 may be active. So the first thing we need to do is rub these out, because if that's not working, nothing's going to work. And by the way, this treatment won't work either. So let's do that. Well, actually, let me explain what's going to happen. So let's say the worst case scenario, you touch this, you go weak, you rub it out. Touch it again, you become strong. And then you're going to touch this reflex. If you go weak, you're going to rub it out. Now, by the way, have I done this on most people here?
Yes.
Yeah. If that goes weak, you're going to rub it out, and that now will remain strong. If you touch the left adrenal reflex, if you touch that on a person, if the arm goes weak, you're going to rub that out. That's the worst case scenario is going to happen. So now, if you touch this one here, after you rub it, it should stay strong. It should stay strong, and you should stay strong. So now, your liver and your adrenal glands are working somewhat good. So what do you think will happen if you touch, and by they're all clear enough, you touch the liver reflex and the right adrenal reflex? What happens if your arm goes weak again? What are you going to do? Are you going to rub it out? No. You're done rubbing. All the rubbing in the world isn't going to do any good. What happens if you touch the liver reflex and the left adrenal reflex and your arm goes weak? What are you going to do? You can't rub it out. You can rub it out all day long. It's still going to go weak. That's not the problem. The problem is the cortisol is still stuck there. So you're going to use the cerebral spinal fluid, the cranial aspect of your brain, and get all this stuff out. You're going to breathe while you're touching. You'll probably have to do all 3 at once, so it'll be kind of tricky. If both these are like this and you go weak, you'll have to put your liver reflex hand, one here like this, one on the left adrenal reflex, one on the right. And what you'll be doing is, because you'll be going weak on all that, you'll be turning your head to the left and breathing 5 or 6 times, and turning your head to the right, breathing 5 or 6 times, and that just flushes it right out. By the way, if you just turn your head to the left and breathe 5 or 6 times and turn to the right without touching that, it does absolutely nothing. Or if you just put your hand here and just breathe normally for a few seconds, it does absolutely nothing.
Dr. Carl, when I do it like from the right, and I do this, you know.
Okay, then you do
the
okay.
left. Because it's really hard to put your fingers on.
You know, good point, Helen. Okay, so
right?
we should I was just trying to save some time. Yeah, because if you don't have, I have small hands.
Yeah, because if you're trying to put your finger over the right.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Helen said here, you know, because it's kind of a hard reach to get, you're going to be putting one finger here on the left adrenal reflex, one on the right, one on the liver. You made a good point. Maybe just do this, breathe 5 or 6, yeah, and then you do this 5 or 6 times with your head. So I'm going to go over this. I'm going to do a demonstration now, and I'm going to see who has this. You can watch how we do this, and most likely, I mean, these are pretty common reflexes to be off anyways. We're not going to get into the reason why they're off. It doesn't really matter. The purpose of this is to fix it and then fix the second part. So, of course, like I do with every workshop, I pick out somebody who has the most noticeably reduced range of motion. And how we do that, we get you to stand up, we're going to cross your arms, we're going to twist to the left and right. And then I'm going to find someone who's got a visibly reduced or marked range of motion reduction. So let's cross your arms, and then let's say twist to the left and twist to the right. Okay. What do we have here? Looks like Arthur, you might be a candidate here. Okay, let's come on up. Okay, so let's cross your arms, Arthur. And let's get you to step forward. So let's see. what happens if you twist to the left? Okay, and then you twist to the right. Well, it seems like graphic goes further to the right, doesn't he?
Sure.
Does it hurt going more to the right or hurt more going to the left?